In this video, you will learn how to add a blog post. So as you can see, I have my blog page all set up. I can tell again, I have my comment button, my blog settings, and the new post button on the bottom of my website. If I click on this blue new post button, that's going to start a new blog post for me to create. So you can see my screen changed a little bit. Those three buttons disappeared. And now I have something that says post title and then my blank body space. So I'm going to go into Google Docs and I'm going to find one of my blogs that I wrote in math class. And the one I'm going to write about today is algebraic language. So I can start by taking the title, copying it, and then pasting it into my post title. Now the next thing I'm going to need, I have my title done, is I'm going to need text. So I'm going to drop that in again. I have to be very aware of where my blue line is. I want it to be right underneath my post title, and I let it go. You'll notice also that it gives me today's date and then how many comments my post has to date. So obviously I haven't posted it yet, which is why I don't have any comments. And I go back to my blog. Now this part I'm going to add as a chart, as an image later on. So I'm going to skip that for now. Same with the operation clue words. And I'm just going to come down here where I actually typed out some examples and stuff that I can just drag, highlight, and copy, paste. So I'm going to copy that, Command C, and I'm going to put that into my text. I'm going to do Command V. And obviously I'm going to have to clean this up a little bit and make it look a certain way with formatting. So again, maybe I want example 1 to stand out more, so I can underline it. Maybe I would make that part a lot bigger, change the color, something more bold. And then maybe this part here, I would also make a little bit bigger, but not as big. And for my example, let's see, maybe I can center this part. See if it lets me do that without centering everything. So I either center all of it or none of it. So I'm going to leave it left aligned. The way I could center it on my own if I really wanted to would be to cut this out, this part, and paste it in a separate text box. And that way I could center that instead. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. All right, so I have that information. So let's say I leave example 1 the way it is, and I leave this for example 2, and I do the exact same thing because I want them to look the same. So I highlight this, I underline it. Always can hit Command U also. I make it bigger, same size, change it to blue, and then I make this text a little bit bigger as well. Now, let's say I wanted to center this part. I can take this, I can cut it, Command X does cut, and I'll click in the text box and bring my space back up. Now what I can do is I can either add a button maybe or a text box. I'm going to do a text box, and I'm going to drop that not on the side but below. So I want to make sure my blue line is below, and let it go. So I should have another text box here. I'm going to paste this in. And now let's say I want to highlight this, center it, make it bold, make it maybe a different color. I have to think about my color scheme, right? And making sure that it makes sense, make it bigger so it stands out and it's stronger. And I can leave that as is. Now I had some other information in those charts that I wanted to add. So I'm going to do that in my next video. So remember, you need to format your text. You need to watch where you're adding that blue line and play around with your color and your size of your font.